Okay, welcome everyone today to your Start U of G session on course selection, a very important topic. My name is Christina Eisenbach. I'm part of the START team, and we're going to be helping you prepare and get ready for this summer and for starting here on our campus in fall 2026. Before we do get started, we just want to confirm again that this particular session is for students who are starting in our Bachelor of Science in Environmental Sciences program. This is a unique program. It's separate from the BSc degree, and you might see this program referred to as the short form that's listed here. So BSc and then in brackets ENV. So those are the students that we're speaking to right now. If there's been some confusion and this isn't your program, please go ahead and check the START guide, and that will have your program's session date and time. And there's going to be recordings of each session made as well that are going to be posted with the START guide too. So you can have a look there. And I believe Will is going to post for us a link to that START guide right there. So you have that live. Perfect. Okay, a bit of an overview of our agenda. Today, we're going to show you how to select courses at the University of Guelph. And we also have Carrie DeVitt from Academic Advising, and she's going to be here to help you with one of your biggest summer tasks as a new university student. Of course, course selection, the theme of the day. Course selection plays an important role in completing your studies. And of course, we're here to help you do that. During our session today, we do have a question and answer feature where you can add your specific questions for our presenters. Please know that when you drop a question in the Q&A section, those questions are anonymous. If you have a specific question that would require you to discuss personal details, for example, or sort of personal information, please email us instead at start START@uofguelph.ca. So we just don't want anybody putting any personal information like student numbers, financial information, etc. In the public chat forum, of course. All right, and moving on, of course, we'd like to start in a good way with a land acknowledgement. With great respect, the START team acknowledges that the University of Guelph resides on the traditional land of the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe and the treaty lands of the Mississaugas of the Credit. We recognize that today this gathering place is home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples, and acknowledging them reminds us of our relationships to this land where we all learn and grow together. As a new Griffin, it's really incredibly important to understand the importance of land acknowledgements and why we do them. And we encourage you to visit the University of Guelph's land acknowledgement website to learn more about that. And Will's going to help us by posting that link as well in the chat for you. A couple of introductions. Again, my name is Christina. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Acting Leadership Education and Development Advisor. I work with the Student Experience Department, and I work with the START team, who are the folks you've been communicating with by email and through these sessions. And we're all here again to help you throughout your transition into first year at the University of Guelph. We've had a quick staffing change. We don't have Ricky with us today. We actually have Will, who is one of our START orientation facilitators. And Will, I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody.
Yeah, hi everyone. So my name is Will Coleman, and I am a START orientation facilitator working with the orientation team here at UG. So I work on events throughout the summer, so you might see me at some of these sessions during tours. And then, of course, I also work on setting up all of our events for orientation week. So we're going to be really excited to welcome you to campus in September as a part of a week. And I can't wait to see you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Will. And at this stage, we get to make one more new introduction. We have with us Carrie DeVitt, and she is an academic advisor for the BSc Environmental Sciences program. So at this time, we're going to turn the mic over to her. And thank you, Carrie, and welcome.
Thank you. Thanks, Christina and Will, for being part of such a great team to bring this presentation to incoming students. So welcome, students. We're really excited to welcome you to the University of Guelph. My role at the university is, as Christina mentioned, an academic advisor. So what I do as an academic advisor is support students from the time you start in the program all the way through to graduation. So I will be there at your academic orientation at the beginning of the year, right before classes start, and then I'll be the one sort of guiding you through to your graduation. So I love my job, I love what I do, and I am the only academic advisor for the Bachelor of Science, Environmental Sciences. So you'll get sick of me. You'll see me a lot throughout the years. And I'm happy to work with students in this program and a few other of the smaller programs at the university. Christina noted at the beginning that this is not the BSc, and that's a sort of misconception that some students have coming in. We're our own unique degree program at the university, so we're a smaller niche degree program focused on environmental sciences. It's quite awesome to be a part of, so I'm super happy to welcome you. My office is in Johnston Hall. I'm a U of G alumni. I'm a U of G parent. I love being outdoors. I'm actually a farmer, fun fact. A cat mom. I wear many, many hats, and academic advising is one that I really, really love. So my direct email address is bscenvpc@uoguelph.ca. So after the presentation, if you think of questions that you'd like to ask me, you can email me directly at that email address. Just a little bit about academic advising at the university. So I'm part of an advising team. So like I said, I'm the only academic advisor for Bachelor of Science, Environmental Sciences. Reasons that you would come and meet with me are reasons of planning, if you're unsure of what major you want to declare toward the end of first year, if something goes sideways for you, you miss a final exam, or you have some other reason that you want to ask for academic consideration. If you want to perhaps take a course elsewhere on letter of permission, if you're thinking of exchange being part of your experience at Guelph, if you have general questions about co-op, just kind of your progress throughout, or questions about understanding what you're seeing in WebAdvisor. And then of course, course selection conundrums. So sometimes that happens where students along the way are trying to decide which courses to choose, and I can help navigate that and provide information, meet with students. So again, my email address is bscenvpc@uoguelph.ca. And when you email that email address, it's me that you're going to hear back from. And I always ask the students use their @uoguelph.ca email address. So other non-University of Guelph emails sometimes fall through the cracks, get caught in spam and junk filters. So please use your @uoguelph.ca email address for all university communications to make sure your email goes to the right place and doesn't get lost. The other part of the advising team for you is going to be your faculty advisor. So each one of the majors within the Bachelor of Science, Environmental Sciences has a faculty advisor. So they teach in the program, they are plugged in with the professional career sector after graduation. They can advise on grad studies. They are a wealth of information. So think about me as sort of the generalist for all students in Bachelor of Science, Environmental Sciences, and then the faculty advisor as like very major specific and course specific questions. And you'll meet the faculty advisors in winter semester. So near the beginning of winter semester, I'll host a major information event, and I will invite all the first year students to come and meet those faculty advisors and ask questions about the majors to help inform your decision. So no one's declared, everyone comes into the program undeclared major to start, and then you'll declare your major in winter semester. So that's kind of that timeline, and that's when you'll get connected with the faculty advisors. And for now, you can meet with me in the fall. So if you have questions now or kind of moving forward into the fall, definitely can reach out to me. Okay, we've got some kind of hot off the press information about course selection. So we've been waiting to find out when the course selection windows are going to open for incoming students. And so I'm going to start it off by shooting that date at you. So the date for course selection windows opening for students coming into the Bachelor of Science, Environmental Sciences is going to be Wednesday, July 8th at 1 p.m. So the way they're doing the windows is upper year students get to register first, followed by third years, followed by second years, working our way down. And incoming first year students are going to pick a little bit later on, but you're going to be July 8th at 1 p.m. is going to be the start of when your window opens. So I'm talking with my hands, but I just want to explain what it means for a window to open. So once your window opens, that means you can go in and register for the courses that you've planned. Once your window opens, it stays open until a certain time in each semester. So for fall semester, your window would remain open until September 18th. And after that, you can't add courses, change sections, or do anything like that. So you have this sort of gaping amount of time to play around with things. The sooner you get on and register for courses, the better, the more selection you're going to have in terms of your choice for sections. But certainly you can still wait and change things up until that date for fall is, again, September 18th. There's a certain date for winter changes. So winter course selection changes can be made up until January 15th. So once your window opens July 8th at 1 o'clock, you'll be able to go into WebAdvisor and register for fall courses and register for winter courses. So we do fall and winter course selection together in one fell swoop. And then just keep in mind that you can make changes until a specific date moving forward. WebAdvisor, now is the time to play around with WebAdvisor, get used to how it works, and you can plan your schedule. So now the schedule is, it's just as of today. So now the schedule is up for fall and winter that you can go in and you can plan your courses. So at the University of Guelph, we don't just plunk you into courses and give you a schedule. That's not how it works. Students have to go in and plan what sections of what courses, and it's sort of like an Amazon cart. You do that planning, put those planned sections in your WebAdvisor planning, and then your next step once your window opens is to go in again, make sure there's space in the sections that you've planned, and register. Okay, so then you can make changes after that, but again, planning and then registering is how it works. So our advice is to play around with it, get planned before your window opens, and then, you know, a little bit before your window is scheduled to open, go in and get ready, get set up, and then, you know, at 1 o'clock, you'll be able to gain access to WebAdvisor and actually register for those sections. So you may not get all 4 courses for each semester. We're going to go through the details of what you need to register for, but you may not get it all in the same sitting. You have time to make changes. So, and you have time to come back. And if you don't get your preferred section, you can come back and see if space has opened up in a section time that you perhaps prefer and make that change. So that's a possibility. But yeah, maybe we'll just continue the next slide. Keep on going. So I explained a little bit about what course selection windows are, but windows open based on your completed credits and in-progress credits. So for most incoming students, you're at a 0. But as you kind of progress in your degree, you'll have more in progress and completed credits. So windows open based on credits, and then based on your degree program. And so we are registering, we meaning first year incoming Bachelor of Science, Environmental Sciences students are registering, and the time that your window opens Actually, will be the same time for a couple of other programs too. But yeah, we're going to be on July the 8th. So it's really exciting. Most courses at the University of Guelph are worth 0.5 credits. That's the most common amount of credits that our courses do. But some courses are worth 1.0 credits. And those courses are called double weighted courses. So there is a double weighted course for you in fall and one in winter too. So it's really important to keep in mind that not all courses are worth 0.5 credits. You need a total academic credits. You need a total of 20 academic credits to graduate. The way the schedule of studies is laid out, you do 8 semesters at 2.5 credits. But of course, there are situations where students take differing amounts of credits moving forward, but everyone needs 20 academic credits to graduate. Part-time and full-time. So at the University of Guelph, full-time studies for undergraduate students is 1.5 credits and up. And if you're registered in less than 1.5 credits, you'd be considered a part-time student. Who cares? Why does that matter? For some scholarships, you need to be a full-time student. Sometimes for international students, they need to be full-time for different reasons. And then sometimes access to parents' benefits, financial reasons for being full-time students. So it's really important to understand what means you're a full-time student for 1.5 credits and above. But like I said, the schedule of studies is broken down into 2.5 credits per semester for this program. And so 2.5 credits is sort of the normal expected registration for students in this program. Again, some students deviate from that for different reasons, but that's how it's laid out. For electives, that's a term that gets used a lot at the university. So there are lots of courses that you can take as electives, but you can't take any in first year. So the way the schedule of studies for Bachelor of Science Environmental Sciences is laid out, we have a set 4 courses in fall and 4 courses in winter. There's no room for electives. So as much as I would love to get you exploring different subject areas, there just simply is no room in first year. So you'll have to put a pin in those courses that you may want to take for fun or just as sort of extra personal interest. And starting in second year is when you're going to have room to pick some electives. Okay, some more common terms in course selection. I already used the term schedule of studies, so that's not even on this little common terms page, but schedule of studies is the expectation of what you're going to complete for your degree and major. How do you find the schedule of studies? It's in the undergraduate calendar. So way back in the day, when I went here, seems like a really long time ago, everyone was given a book, and the book was the undergraduate calendar, and it explained for your degree program what you need. It outlined all of the courses. So that still exists. It's just not a book. It's online. And so that's called the undergraduate calendar. They put out a new undergraduate calendar every single year. And so your calendar coming into this program is going to be the 2026-2027 calendar. This is going to be where your degree program expectations are outlined. And the undergraduate calendar is also where you're going to find policies for University of Guelph students. And so I use the undergraduate calendar a whole heck of a lot. If we meet at some point, I very likely will be sharing links to the undergraduate calendar. So just wanted to make sure you understand what that is. The schedule of dates is another little section of the undergraduate calendar, and the schedule of dates outlines when the semester starts, when things are sort of like common dates for students and staff at the university to adhere to. It will explain when the semester ends, when the exam period starts, all those kinds of things. And so the schedule of dates, yeah, it's accessible through the undergraduate calendar. And then WebAdvisor, we talked about WebAdvisor, but that's the platform that students use to plan and register for courses. This is where you'll see your progress in your degree program and major. You'll be able to check your tuition billing, your finances, request you can pull like an unofficial transcript here. You'll be able to apply for graduation when the time comes. So WebAdvisor is the student system at Guelph that you're going to be really, really familiar with eventually. Okay, the next slide just has a big QR code on it. We're just hoping to help people navigate to the registration guide. If you haven't seen it already, please use the QR code to pull it up. So the registration guide for new students has been developed to be kind of like the one-stop shop, like point of first contact to kind of get going with your course selection and information that you might need. Oh, interesting. I should have amended this slide. So it includes details for your courses for first semester and second semester. So prior to last year, we used to just do fall semester registration first, but now we do fall and winter together. So in the registration guide for new students, my challenge is for you to find your schedule of studies. So spoiler alert, I did put a link to the schedule of studies in there. It's actually under the program information section. So please navigate through, find the program information section, find your Bachelor of Science, Environmental Sciences, and from there you're going to actually be able to see what I need you to register in for fall and winter. As I mentioned, it's a set schedule, so it's a set determination of courses. Everyone in the program is required to take these courses and ideally taking them in your first year. So navigate through and hopefully you can find the link to the schedule of studies, which will show you the 5 majors within the Bachelor of Science, Environmental Sciences. And if you haven't explored sort of that deeply, I recommend you make that a summer project and just kind of get familiar with what the degree program looks like and the 5 majors that are going to be available to you to declare starting in winter semester. Okay, so hopefully you've navigated to the program information and then found your degree program. And then this is a reiteration of what the registration guide says for what you need to register for in first year. So in fall semester, you're going to select 4 courses. Many students in many other programs are going to register for 5. But the reason you're doing 4 in fall and 4 in winter is because in each of those semesters, we have a double weighted course. So it doesn't mean that you are missing registering for an elective or anything like that. It's because one of the courses in each semester is a bit heavier. And so it's taking up the credit space, right? So in fall, that course is Introduction to Environmental Sciences. It's ENVS 1030, and it's worth 1.0 credits. This is your core introductory environmental sciences course, as the title implies. Most students absolutely love this course. So you're going to have a lab component involved in the course and a lecture. And this is where you're going to meet your other students in your program, right? So this is for students in the Bachelor of Science and Environmental Sciences specifically. And yeah, so you're going to do lecture and a lab for that course. Biology 1070, this is the same Biology 1070 that's in many, many other Bachelor of Science majors, but you're going to take this one too. So there's going to be a mix of people in that class. Math 1080, so that's our Elements of Calculus course. No, you do not need 4U calculus to take it. You need 4U advanced functions is the admission requirement for this program, but you do need to take that in Elements of Calculus in first semester. And then you need to take a first chemistry. So most students coming in hopefully will have 4U chemistry coming into the program and can start with chemistry 1040, Chem 1040, General Chemistry 1 in fall semester. If you do not have any chemistry, I do not recommend plunging right into Chem 1040. For students without 4U chemistry, going to recommend that you take Chem 1060 to brush up on those chemistry fundamentals before you move into Chem 1040. Feel free to email me if you have questions about this or you're not quite sure what to do. Please email me about that. But for the most part, students with chemistry, hopefully have it for you, Chem, can take Chem 1040 in the fall. Then for winter semester, the 4 courses you're going to take Intro to Molecular and Cellular Bio, so that's Biology 1090. You're going to take the second Chem. So if you took 1040 in the fall, which hopefully most of you do, then you'll take Chem 1050 in the winter. If, on the other hand, you didn't have the Chem prep and you have to take Chem 1060 in the fall, you'll take Chem 1040 in the winter, and you'll have to move your Chem 1050 to second year. Again, if you have questions about that, please reach out to me. I'm happy to have an individual conversation if you want to talk about that. For students who are in the co-op program, if you were admitted to the co-op program and you accepted an offer to the co-op program, you will register for co-op 1100 non-credit course in winter semester. The reason why I did that very elaborate pause is because it's not included in the 2.5 credits you're registering for winter semester, but it is in fact required if you're in the co-op program. So you do need to register for it. It's a preparatory course to get you ready for your first co-op job search. So it's really, really important. You absolutely have to have it to continue in the co-op program, but it's not worth credit. You do need to achieve a pass in the course. You'll find out more information about that. A pass is 70% in that course, but you're not in fact getting any academic credit for it. Okay, so it's a bit of an odd one, which is why I'm going into detail on that one. The other course you want to register for in winter semester is FAIR 1040. So this is Introduction to Environmental Economics, Law and Policy. This is the other 1.0 credit double weighted course in first year. So again, we had one in fall, one in winter. So this course, you're going to do a bit of debate. You're going to do some policy analysis and really kind of dig into some of the environmental decisions that are being made. So extremely applicable for your program and really interesting. It's different. It's not a science course, so it is an economics focused course, but really important subject area. And then last but not least, the 4th academic course that you're going to register for is Geography 1300. So this is Intro to the Biophysical Environment, Intro to Geog, yeah, like a physical geography course, which most students really enjoy as well. So that's the suite of courses. Again, another QR code bringing you. I just want to be super clear. It's 4 courses in fall, 4 courses in winter. There's no elective. If you have questions about any of this, you can email me. Again, my email address is bscenvpc@uofguelph.ca, and that should be in there. It's in the registration guide as well, kind of toward the bottom of the program information is where you'll see that. WebAdvisor, now's the time to get used to using it, or at least dabble with it and play around. So you've got a bit of time before that July 8th window opening. And now's the time to have a look and see what WebAdvisor is all about. So WebAdvisor does allow you to plan. I don't really advise planning beyond first year because you don't know what major you're going to declare yet. You won't know that until winter, but you can certainly play around with planning for fall and winter semester and having a look at all of the sections for the different courses. So in the registration guide, I do say like register for the more limiting courses first, and then register or plan for the other courses with more sections second. So what I mean by this is, for example, in fall, ENVS 1030 is going to be your most limiting course. So it has 1 lecture time, and then it has several different lab times. So you're going to plan for this first, because if there's a chemistry 1040 time that conflicts with that ENVS 1030 lecture, no dice. You're not going to plan for that, right? So there's no other option for lectures for ENVS 1030 other than the one you're going to see. So then you have to build the other more flexible courses around that one. So that's how it works. You kind of start with has the least options, and then kind of plan from there. And I usually recommend Like put something in your plan that's your ideal schedule, but then be ready with backups, right? So in case when you do go in to actually register for the sections you've planned, if a section that you've planned is full, that means you cannot register it. So you need to look for another section. So there's going to be a working schedule. You just have to find the section that still has space that works with everything else you have planned. In WebAdvisor, when you're looking up and planning for courses, the courses that have a lot of different sections, you want to use the advancing arrows. I'm typing like I'm telling you what to do. You got to use those advancing arrows to get you to the more sections. I don't know how many Chem 1040 sections there are exactly, but it's a lot. And you just need to keep advancing the page to get to the more, there's different lecture times, there's different lab times. So there's a ton of options for sections for Chem 1040, but you got to advance those arrows to find them. Hot tip, everyone tries to plan the ones on the first page. Don't do that. Be savvy, get in there, dig in with the advancing arrows and plan for a section that you like the look of, but that is deeper in because those are the sections that students are less likely to plan. They just get in there, they plan the first thing they see. But if you want to be a little bit savvy about it, dig in, get planning a section that no one else found right away. It's because it's dig in, right? So if you do that, you're more likely to get the section that you planned once it's time to register. Course selection planning information. So there's a link at the bottom of the screen there. That's going to bring you to some of the WebAdvisor tutorials. In this presentation, which from what I understand, you're going to be sent like a copy of that you can watch again and hear my voice again in your head, but you'll be able to actually click on the little videos, the YouTube videos that explain how to use WebAdvisor. That might be the most valuable thing you do as a starting University of Guelph student, is really understand how to use WebAdvisor. So yeah, highly recommend looking at those videos or navigating yourself through the registration guide to the WebAdvisor tutorials to figure out how to use the system before your window opens. So you create a plan for courses, like I said, kind of akin it to like an Amazon cart. Like you put the stuff all in your plan and you wait until it's go time, and that's when you go in and register for courses. Okay, but you can start planning now. So just the two videos, yeah, how to plan and then how to register for courses. Awesome. Thanks, Christina. Okay, so if you're a transfer student and you're coming in with some transfer credits, you just want to pay attention to course selection windows, because you may in fact be able to register. Your course selection window might be opening earlier than for other students that are coming right from high school that don't have credits already up in WebAdvisor, right? So again, windows open based on completed and in progress credits. And so your window might be opening earlier. So really pay attention to find out when your course selection window opens. Understanding your program requirements so you can still navigate to the registration guide, the program information, and then to find your schedule of studies to really understand what your program requirements are. If you have questions about your transfer credits and what they are, what they mean, how they can be used, please send me an email. I'm happy to help you navigate that. So admissions determines what your transfer credits are going to look like, and then I help you navigate how you're going to use those whether and how you're going to use those transfer credits moving forward. Awesome. So if you've received transfer credits for like IB courses, AP, like advanced level, all these things. So admissions makes it like, again, admissions that's not my area. So admissions is making those determinations. Admissions needs to receive your final scores for those determinations to be made. So there's a link here to potential transfer credits, what you might get. But again, if you're having trouble interpreting what you see or what you know to be what you've got, like please let me know. I'm happy to look at it with you. Just know that I'm not the one making the decision. But I'm here to help guide you once you find out. Sometimes, like if official scores aren't ready yet, you might be a determination of your transfer credits like a little bit later on in the process this summer. And so if you get an email from admissions updating you about transfer credits, read the details really carefully and really understand what that communication is. So I have had situations, for example, where students registered for their courses and then admissions is trying to give them transfer credit for like biology 1070, for example. And then it's like, but you're registered in it, but we want to give you transfer credit for that. So really, if you have questions about those nuances as you go, I'm a good person to at least start with to get answers. International students, we've got a slide here because being an international student at Guelph comes with a little bit more information, part of it. So we do have international student advisors. We have our GPS advising team. And so this slide is here. If you're an international student, pay really close attention so you know who your point people are, who your contact people are. If you have immigration related questions, work eligibility questions, anything to do with your post-graduation work, permit, rules and the eligibility for getting that after you graduate. These are the folks that you're going to want to make sure you connect with. Okay, so international student advisors, so we've got Matthew and Ernest, they're fantastic, but you're going to want to make sure you're really connecting with that team. These are nuances for international students that they want to make sure you have all that information that you'll need. Important dates and deadlines. So as always with everything, there's really important dates that you want to make sure you keep in mind. June 15th was the registration deposit due date. So for domestic students, that June 15th, there was a $500 deposit due. In fact, I'm going to put my mom hat on here for a minute. That registration deposit amount doesn't show on your student financial account as an amount owing, which has always seemed very strange to me, but you do owe it. In fact, if you're going to try to register for courses for fall and winter, you do owe the registration deposit. So once you paid it and that payment gets processed, it will show up as a minus $500 on your account. So you're going to want to make sure that's what you're seeing in advance of your course selection window opening. Okay, so if that amount isn't paid or the payment is not processed, you're going to hop onto WebAdvisor and not be able to register. So it's really important we have a fall registration deposit due every summer, like before fall course selection starts, right? So just pay attention, make sure that you know that deposit is happening every single year before you register. It's a really key date to keep in mind. Once you get going as a student, you're going to get emails from me. So I remind people of things like this. And so you're going to get those emails from me on a regular basis throughout your time here. I'm laughing because my emails sometimes are long, but I do try to keep students really updated on what's going on, what to pay attention to. We still have TBA because course selection windows at the time we created this presentation, like we had no idea till like 11:30 this morning. So your course selection window is going to open on July 8th, Wednesday, July 8th at 1:00 p.m. This is the first time we've ever had a window opening in the afternoon. So we used to always open at 8 a.m. So if you're talking to like an older cousin, brother, sister, and they're like, oh, it opens at 8 a.m. What are you talking about 1 p.m.? We are having some programs open at 8 a.m. and your program is going to open at 1 p.m. on July 8th. So this is the first time we're doing a morning opening and an afternoon opening. So you get to be the first ones doing these afternoon openings, but it's going to go really well for you. Late July is when your semester bill is going to be posted on WebAdvisor. So that's when you'll know the exact amount that's due. September 10th, it's a Thursday, is the first day of classes. Fall semester, our first day of classes is always a Thursday. So you'll have a really short week that first week, Thursday and Friday. And then September 18th is when your fall semester payment is due. And this, coincidentally, date may sound familiar. So I mentioned you can make changes to your courses, change sections, etc., up until September 18th. So that's an important date for a couple reasons. That's the date you got to pay up by, and that's the final date that you can change sections. So if you're all registered in your courses and you meet someone during O week and you're like, oh, I wish we were in the same chem section together or something like that, you can, if there's space, you can make changes up until September 18th. So just wanted to make sure you realize that was a possibility. Frequently asked questions. Okay, I feel like there's one thing in all that extreme dumping of information that I didn't explain. And so before we kind of get into the questions, I really want to explain wait lists. What is a wait list? What does that mean at the University of Guelph? Okay, so wait lists are a function of WebAdvisor, where if you go in to register for a course section and it's full, you can join a wait list for that section. Okay, I'm going to talk slow because I just want to make sure I explain this really well. If you register and put yourself on a wait list, you're not registered in the course. You're just on a wait list, and you would need to wait and receive, hopefully, an email letting you know, hey, now there's space for you in this section. If you'd like to register, go ahead and do that, and they give you a deadline. So it's usually 11:59 p.m. the next day. It's a little bit over 24 hours later. So that you have to actually go in and take action and get registered, or else your spot, waitlisted spot, goes to the next person in line and you get dumped off the wait list. So that's how wait lists work. I always recommend for first year students especially, don't put yourself on a wait list if you don't have to. Even if it means you're registering for a time of day that's not like super exciting for you. If you can get registered in a course, that's a sure thing you're in the course. If you're on a wait list, there are no guarantees you're getting in. So please, like, I know I'm being really dramatic in that announcement, but I feel like in high school, sometimes your wait list in the guidance council will be like, oh yeah, we'll probably be able to get you in. Like, don't worry about it. Worry about it. Like, please don't put yourself on a wait list and assume it's all going to just work out great. Find another section that works for your schedule and get registered in that. You can register, you can get yourself on wait lists for multiple courses, but you cannot be on multiple wait lists for one course. And you cannot be registered and on a different wait list for the same course. You're either registered or you're on a wait list. It's an either or. If you get registered in a section and it's like, it's an evening, like I'm a commuting student, whatever, I don't really want an evening, you can keep looking back to see if room has opened up in another section that you prefer, and then you can drop that and register for the other section. Okay, so like you can still move around, but I would not advise hanging out on a wait list hoping for the best. Please don't do that. If you want advice on that, please connect with me. We can meet on Teams. You can come in and see me and we can chat about strategy. But for first year students, I don't recommend hanging out on a wait list. Okay. All right. So very serious information, but I want to make sure that you have it. How many credits should I take in a semester? So this is a frequently asked question. I feel like I answered it well, but you are going to be registered ideally in 2.5 credits in fall, 2.5 credits in winter, 4 courses in each is going to comprise your 2.5 credits. Maybe I'll just pause and just see, are there any questions from the Q&A, Will, that you would want to maybe toss to me, or else we can keep moving along?
I have one question.
Okay.
Just checking. So I had a student who asked about they have IB transfer credits. And I've also had this question actually from another student. If they have IB transfer credits that they're waiting to receive, so I believe it's July, like early July, they'll get it. Which is actually before the course selection dates. But if they receive it, if they don't receive their scores until after the course selection date, should they select the required courses that they're not sure they'll get transfer credits for, or should they select their electives that they can take in that place?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So if you're at all hesitant that you may not get the transfer credit, register in the required course. If you're pretty sure based on the information that you have, maybe you got something from admissions, maybe you're seeing something about transfer credits online and you're fairly certain you're going to get the transfer credit for that, then you can roll the dice. You can register in something else. You can register in a free elective. And again, I am happy to meet with students who are looking for ideas. There are some really good first year courses that you'll be able to take. And the sooner we have that conversation, the better. But hopefully you find out in advance of your course selection window opening so that you can sort of pivot and make other plans. Great that this slide is up there. So what electives do I take? So in first year, like I said, like for most students coming in, there's no electives in first year. There's just like a standard 4 courses in fall, 4 courses in winter. If you have transfer credit for one of those required courses, one or more of those required courses in first year, and you want to have a conversation about maybe taking an elective kind of early, so that's a possibility. Email me if you want some ideas. Basically, if it's whatever subject area, whatever course you're interested in. At this point, we don't have to worry about the 1,000 level limit yet because you're not going to be breaching that quite yet. So really it is whatever electives sound interesting to you. You may also want to opt to take a 2.0 credit semester. So say if you did get a transfer credit for that biology 1070, I'm picking on biology 1070 today, but if you got transfer credit for that and you're like, hey, in first semester, like what else do I take? I'm in EMVS 1030, math 1080 and chem 1040. So I'm in 2.0 credits. What else do I take? So you can choose to take an elective. Or door number 2, you can decide to take 2.0 credits. You would still be a full-time student. Your transfer credit sort of keeps you on par with everyone else credits wise moving forward, but it would afford you more time to get adjusted to university, to kind of get your social, your clubs, what you want to have going on, and focus on some of the more challenging courses, of which are Chem 1040 and Math 1080, right? So having a little bit more time to focus on those more challenging subject areas and potentially going to the supportive learning groups or, getting involved to like progress your learning, maybe getting involved with the library learning commons, and, getting your some brush up on workshops on time management and stuff like that. There's a lot of things you can do at the University of Guelph to fill your time. It's just a strategy about like when you want to make time for those kinds of things and not. If you want to have a conversation, and I'm certainly open to having those conversations too. Thanks, Will.
I have a couple more questions from the chat.
Great.
If you have time.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
So one was asking if they didn't take physics in high school, they still need the credit to graduate, so they would still need to take the sort of equivalent course. What course is that, and when would they expect to take that course?
Yeah, not first year. Okay, so don't worry about it. Okay, so that physics, the first year physics, if you didn't have for you a physics from high school and you decide to declare ecology or ENVS, so environmental sciences, as your major, you will need to take physics 1300 later. It's not going to be a prerequisite for anything. You'll be included in the restriction. I made sure of that. So you will take that later. So don't worry about it in first year. It's not like you're behind in the schedule of studies for those 2 majors. It's later. So no one's taking it in first year. I don't want you to bump something else to fit in the physics. No, hard no, don't do it. You're going to wait. You're going to take it in probably second year, maybe even third year. Okay. Great question though. Great question.
And one more. Just for students that are in co-op, is there anything else that they should know about course selection aside from co-op 1100?
Yeah, good. So co-op 1100 in winter semester, make sure you register for it. The only other really advice for kind of gearing up for co-op is going to be try to get your skill set up there. So try to get some work or volunteer experience this summer. Really like every little bit of experience that you can share with potential employers in your cover letter and resume is going to do a world of good when you're actually looking for your first co-op job. So yeah, getting experience, work in a team, prove that you can get up early for work and be that really reliable employee. Doesn't matter what job it is, like if you're gainfully employed this summer, awesome. And then try to, like, as you're learning this job and doing this job, try to think creatively about how you would pitch these skills to someone, like every little skill that you can gain, even if it's like working with difficult people or, you know, pulling your weight as a team member. All of these things are really, really important to co-op employers. Great question. Also, to kind of prepare yourself and have a better understanding, there is a section in the registration guide about co-op, so have a look there for sure. And then when you're looking at the, remember my challenge earlier in the presentation was have a look and find your schedule of studies. So the schedule of studies for each of the 5 majors, the co-op tab. So when you're in the schedule of studies, there's like major and then co-op. The co-op tab will show what the co-op work sequence is going to be. So that's a definite thing, depending on which major you choose. And some people, the major of choice is influenced by when the co-op work terms are going to be. So have a look, just be familiar, just keep asking really good questions about co-op. For sure, you can ask me. I don't work for the co-op office, but I know a heck of a lot about the co-op rules. So you can always start with me, but just kind of be familiar with what the expectations for co-op are. And then when you take that co-op 1100 course in winter semester, you're going to learn about the co-op policies, what you need to do to succeed. They're going to help you with your cover letter and resume, role playing for interviews, all that kind of great stuff as part of that course in winter.
And that's all the questions for now.
Right on. Maybe we'll advance to the next slide. I feel like there's some other frequently asked questions. What if a required course says it's full? Okay. So if it's a core, like a big course, like biology 1070, chem 1040, math 1080 in first semester, or biology 1090, all the science students take that, chem 1050. So if it's saying full, like there's no sections of any availability, like keep advancing those arrows to dig in and see. And if you get stuck and there are no available sections, email me and we'll try to figure it out together. It might be that there are available sections, but you have to move something else to make the schedule line up. So if you are having trouble navigating that yourself, I can help you with that. If you either book an appointment or send me an email and let me know really specifically where you hit a snag. Carrie, I'm registered in these courses, but this specific course is giving me an issue. I can't find any sections with available space. So the more detailed your email is that way, include your student ID number so I can go in the system and have a look. But the more detailed you can be with your questions, the better I'm going to be able to help you navigate your way around it. Yeah. Maybe next question. Why is a course restricted? Okay, so this isn't really going to apply to you for sure because you're going to be included in the restrictions for the required courses that you need in first year. But later on, restrictions may play a role for you. So right now, as they're getting ready with the schedule and getting ready for course selection windows to start opening, there will be a list of restricted courses with restrictions, and sometimes sections of courses with restrictions. And the reason those restrictions exist are so that we can prioritize the students that require those courses for their program. So right off the bat, ENVS 1030 is restricted, so other students in other programs can't just hop in there and think they're registering for it as an elective because we're saving it for you. So restrictions can be a really good thing. And then moving forward past first year, there will be first year restrictions on many first year courses, right? So we're saving spots for the incoming students because we know that you're going to be your first time navigating your way through a schedule and coming up with the planning. So we're restricting a lot of first year courses to save room for you. Where this does sometimes cause an issue is for transfer students. So for transfer students that are coming in with more than five or more credits worth of transfer credits, it's like the system sees you as an upper year a student. And so you may not have access to courses that have a first year restriction on them for a while. Eventually, most restrictions lift, not all, but most restrictions lift eventually. And so for some students, they have to come back a little bit later on. Or if there's a course that you didn't get in first year and you're trying to register for it in second year, guess what? We're holding spots for the incoming students and then you'd have a chance to register. So I'm here to help navigate that kind of thing. But when a course is restricted, it's usually restricted for a reason, i.e. we got to squeeze in the people that absolutely need it first. And then if you're hoping to take it as an elective or something like that, or restricted elective, then you'll have the ability to register later or get on a wait list as space allows. Fun. So here's some contact information for START to get kind of your basic questions answered. My contact information again, my email address is bscenvpc@uofguelph.ca, and your email can be, hi Carrie, I have some questions. So please email me. I'm happy to answer those questions for you. Yeah, again, I'm the only person that's answering those emails. So please email me if you have specific questions to do with your degree program. And if you're not sure, if you don't think it's me and you're looking for a referral elsewhere on campus, you can email start@uofguelph.ca and reach out with your sort of more general navigating the system type questions. And they'd be happy to help you as well.
Carrie, I have one more question in the chat.
Awesome.
This is a student asking if they did poorly in grade 12 chemistry. Do you have any tips for them for doing well in Chem 1040? Do you think they'll do well in Chem 1040?
I have a tip, and that is go to the supported learning groups right away. So usually about 2 weeks after classes start, they put up the schedule for supported learning groups. And these are course specific, student-led, basically tutorial type groups that are hosted in the library, and sometimes they have them online as well. The earlier you get connected with help before you encounter a problem, the better, right? Ask your questions early and often. Go to those supported learning groups. Even if you have an inkling that this might be a course that you're going to struggle with, go build it into your schedule. Figure out, sometimes they have more than one option that you can go to. Supported learning groups, SLGs. So you can look it up, find out about it. They are run through the library, and the departments offering some of these more challenging courses will hire recently successful students. So it's run by students that nailed the course before, right? So they understand how the course runs. It's set up to be not intimidating. So it's not that you have to, not that instructors are intimidating, but if you want to chat with a student, if you have questions, if you want to work through some of the problems in the course together as a group, go be a fly on the wall, listen to what other people's questions are. Highly recommend getting connected with the supported learning group for chemistry offered through the library, right? And go early, go often, be comfortable, so that by the time you have a question or you're getting ready for the midterm, you've already been in the space, you've already seen the people talking, and that often helps when you potentially feel uncomfortable asking a question. And if they see that you've been there and you're engaging and you're really trying to learn, it's easier for them to kind of know that you're keen to find out as much as you can too, and that you're trying your best. So build it into your schedule as another class, right? So a class time, oh, my SLG is Thursday night. I'm prioritizing that. Yeah, do that. That's my number one hot tip.
Thank you so much, Carrie, for that really helpful presentation and for answering all those questions. And I hope all of the students that are tuning in or that are going to view this video in the future are already feeling how well they'll be supported in their first year. So thank you very much.
Right on.
Yeah, that is the end of our formal session today. If you would like more information, or if you'd like to watch this this video again, if you'd like to watch the recording, please just make sure that you visit startuofg.ca. And again, Will's going to post that link for you so you can follow up once again. But thank you so much for spending your lunchtime with us. And everyone, take care.